Alrighty guys, welcome back to the YouTube. Haven't filmed anything this week, which is a bit slack, so I thought I would try to get a bit of a video in over the next couple of days. So just going to film like a day in the life, full day of eating type vid for this one. So today is Saturday. In the first clip, you would have seen I did my check-in. So I took some physique shots for my coach. We are 6 weeks now post show, so I'm starting to put some body fat back on. I think I was an average of like 75 kg this week, which is cool. Body composition is still in a pretty good spot. We are definitely, got some body fat back on, definitely feeling better, obviously feeling stronger in the gym as well. So now we're probably at a spot where we can really start making progress in the off season, where those first few weeks are just really recovering from the diet. So that's really cool. In terms of eating, we are up to 3,800 calories per day. 210 protein, 600 carbohydrates, and 60 grams of fat. So food has been increased a little bit from the last full day of eating I did, which was maybe 550 carbs, so just an extra 50 carb, and that has been what we have been running for the last few weeks, and probably what will stay on for a while, because body weight is sort of slowly creeping up, which is good. I mean, it's a decent amount of food. Like, I'm still very, very hungry, but it is what it is. So yeah, today's Saturday. I have pretty cruisy day of one-to-one PTs, only 3 one-to-one PTs on a Saturday, but I have a busy day of online client check-ins, so I'll give you a bit of insight in terms of how I do those. Maybe I'll take a few snippets from them. I have a new client to onboard. I have an existing client going from a fat loss phase to a lean gaining phase, so I'll also, document, his overview and how we transition into the lean gaining phase. So yeah, pretty much it'll just be a day of eating, training, and then, showing you a little bit of me doing some work. But it is currently about 10 to 4, and I'm on the way to the gym. I have my first client at 5 a.m. So I will smash out my cardio in the morning first, a bit of cardio, a bit of abs, have a shower, and then get into the client and go from there. But yeah, cardio is still in the daily routine, and most likely for the foreseeable future, or for the whole of the off season. So, reason I do cardio is, number one, it's great routine. Secondary to that, it's obviously really, really good for your heart health. And I'm not doing anything, too strenuous. I do like 20, 25-minute sessions max. It's not going to take away from my ability to build muscle. There's plenty of food going in. But if anything, it's going to aid in my ability to build muscle, right? Because I'm going to be a lot fitter in my sessions. And, my goal is to build muscle. So I don't want my lungs to give out and fail before my muscles fail, right? So, that's probably food for thought for a lot of people. I think everyone should have a baseline of cardiovascular training in their, regime. 3 by 20-minute sessions a week, 4 by 20-minute sessions per week. It's a good thing to get our heart rate up, right? It's a good thing to remain fit and have that general level of fitness. It's going to allow you to train harder. It's going to allow your appetite to be in a better spot. It's going to allow digestion to be in a better spot, and overall feelings of well-being to be in a great spot. And, there are outliers to the fact. If you are working a really labor-intensive job, you're on the shovel all day, you're doing 20,000 steps, you probably don't need to do cardio. But, for most of us, I think a little bit of cardiovascular training is a great idea, for all of the reasons that I mentioned. So without further ado, we will get into the gym. I won't film myself doing cardio or anything like that, but straight into cardio. Then I'll take you through my meal one after I get through a few PTs. And just take you along the day. We've also got push and arms on the carb, which is the last session of the week. So I'll get a few snippets of that. But yeah, a little day in the life. It won't be too extravagant. It's pretty much all work and no play with me at the moment, but wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. I absolutely love it. So we'll see you at the gym. Oh. Alrighty, so just finished a couple of one-to-one PTs, and then I also just had a cancellation come in overnight as well. So one-to-one sessions all wrapped up for today. So now I'm about to get meal one in, and then I will reply to clients. Obviously, I want about an hour and a half before I sort of train. So I get this meal in, reply to clients, any sort of form clips that have come in overnight. So that's what I sort of try and prioritize first thing. And then I'll pre-workout, go train, and then after that it'll be, a full day of check-ins. Saturday's a pretty busy day of check-ins. So meal number one is 120 grams of oats, 100 grams of banana, 100 grams of blueberries, and 100 grams of strawberries, and then 40 grams of whey made into the old whey drip. I'm pretty sure this was the exact same as last full day of eating, and I don't see this meal changing anytime soon. I absolutely froth it. The only thing that will be added here is probably, a fat sauce like dark chocolate or almond butter or something like that in the future, but that is the meal for now. So meal number 1 going down, like I said, reply to a few different clients, some form clips this AM, pre-workout, and get ready to train. So I'll put a few clips of training. I'm not going to do any sort of training footage in terms of like talking or anything, but a few clips of training just to prove that I did it, and then we'll catch up for meal number 2, which will be the post-workout meal. Alrighty, we are in for the post-workout meal. So just finished training, pushing arms today. Just threw a few clips in, so you would have seen those, but really good session. Very, very happy. PBs across the board, as it should be, this early into the off season. But you'll see from the clips, right, like my chest and my arms are my weakest areas. So, this is a session where I really need to focus on control, change of direction, really getting that form right, full ranges of motion, really contracting the muscle to move the weight. And ever since doing that, my upper body has come up so much. So I feel like I explained this in that second video that I did, when it comes to my training, unfortunately, I'm not a person who can just go and move weight around and, fling it around and grow. Like, I have to really be particular with the way that I train. But ever since doing that, things have started to level up a lot. So post-workout meal, you would have seen this a few times by now. So we have the Ninja Creamy. Look at the texture. Chocolate ice cream today. Little tip, light ice cream for 1, 2 respins, and it comes out looking like that. So 40 grams of whey, unsweetened almond milk. Then we have 140 grams of chocolate cream of rice, you wouldn't believe it. 100 grams of blueberries, 100 grams of strawberries. Heaps of cinnamon, heaps of pink salt. And then I had 5 rice cakes, but I've eaten 1. 10 grams of honey and a little bit of PB2 on this one. I used to have 8 to 10 rice cakes in this one meal, but I've actually put them, the rest of those in another meal there. So plenty of carbs, good protein going in post-workout. So gonna smash this down, have a quick shower, and then we'll be hooking into the check-ins for the day. So catch you at meal number 3. Alrighty, welcome back. Bit of a different look. We're in the kitchen of my $1 million beach mansion. And what do we call them? Stir frying. Stir frying in the pan here. So we have lean beef mince, carrots, green beans. We have some jasmine rice in there as well. And I'm gonna throw some spinach in there, and then we'll put an egg in there as well. The secret, and then mix him up and smash it out. So, secret ingredients, Frank's Red Hot, literally like, what is it, 1 calorie per serving, and I just absolutely take the piss with this because it's unreal. And then this little fella is thick teriyaki sauce. I think it's like 25 calories per 18 gram, like a tablespoon worth, but I don't use anywhere near that amount. And throw a bit of that in there. Stir fry it all up. And then get the egg cracked in, one-handed. Done this a few times. Zero shell. You wouldn't know, but promise, 0 shell. So that's good. Let that pretty much cook through and then stir it in, and then I'll go absolutely nuts with the baby spinach and throw that in there. So, top tip, all of this food was already prepared. Like I cooked the mince obviously in a big bulk when I meal prepped it, but when I'm home on the weekends or when I'm working from home, like always heat your food up in the pan, right? It just tastes so much better than the microwave. Like you said, you can add some sauces into it, add a little bit more salt to it. Obviously, pan fry it just way, way better. So we'll get that egg all mixed up. And then we will show you the finished product after, but very, very good. Alrighty, so finished product. Probably looks terrible on the camera, but we have 150 extra lean beef mince, extra lean of course, 100 grams of raw weight jasmine rice, so that equals about 250 when cooked. We got 125 grams of mixed veg, so spinach, carrots, green beans, got one egg in there, and then we also have a shit ton of Frank's Red Hot and some of that teriyaki, thick boy teriyaki sauce. Added a bit more salt to it, probably wash it down with a Pepsi Max. Easily the best sugar-free soft drink that there is. So yeah, meal number 3 is about to go down. Just did 11 check-ins, I think, so I've got about 7 more to do today. Some of them haven't come in yet, so I'll do this. I'll eat this, then I will walk on my indoor walking pad, which I don't think I've shown on the YouTube yet. Yeah, probably won't show it anyway. But yeah, walking indoors. Usually eat a meal, do a little 10 to 15 minute digestion walk, get it moving. Becomes especially essential when we get deeper into the off season, when I'm an absolute bloated mess. But yeah, meal 3, then we'll get back to check-ins, and then I will catch you at meal 4. Back again for meal number 4, which is going to be 150 grams of chicken breast, 300 grams of Spud Lights, some low calorie potatoes, 150 grams of mixed veg all up, so carrots, green beans and spinach, Frank's Red Hot, bit of thick boy teriyaki sauce. We had 5 rice cakes, but I've already smashed out 2, with 10 grams of PB2 and 10 grams of honey, pink salt over the lot, and some beautiful sugar-free cordial here to wash it all down. So meal 4 is in the bag. All of the check-ins for Saturday have been, boxed off well and truly. And actually I've been doing house chores. I've been cleaning the house because I have a routine inspection. And when I say house, I mean my 1-bedroom apartment. So that doesn't take too long, but I've been smashing that out and getting that prepared. So, I mean, I live by myself, right? So there's not too much to clean, but I definitely don't want to look like a slob, Professional, you want to hold yourself to a high standard. So when they come in, they go, holy shit, it's clean. So that's what I've been doing. So meal number 4, and then after this meal, I'll finish off the housework. Typically, I will do a little bit of study on a Saturday afternoon as I'm doing a couple of different courses at the moment, which I'll probably share with you in a future video. So I'll do a bit of that, and then it'll be time for meal 5, and then that'll be a wrap of the day. A little bit of chill time, get to bed early because we're up for CV first thing in the AM. Tomorrow, got meal prep tomorrow, got Sunday check-ins, plenty to do, but I'm also going to have a little bit of a chat to the camera about a few things that are going on in my personal and professional life in the, in the very near future as well. So pretty exciting times, pretty scary times as well. But yeah, I'll catch you a lot up when we go through that in a bit of a video soon. But yeah, meal 4, bit of chicken. Cajun seasoning as well, that's an absolute treat. Anyway, I'm just talking shit, so meal 4 done. Alrighty, last one of the day. And to address the elephant in the room, these are blue light blocking glasses. I have been really trying to enhance or have better sleep this year. So I've been trying out a few different things, and to be fair, because I spend so much time on the computer and, you know, this day and age, always on the phone. Since implementing these, you know, I have noticed a difference. So very, very good. But yeah, absolutely knackered today. It's been a long day. I've been up since 3:30. Did my cardio, clients, big day of work, and then eating and just being a bodybuilder, you know, training, all that sort of stuff. By the time it gets to like 6:30, 7 p.m, like I'm done in. So last meal and then, you know, a little bit more work and then probably be in bed by 8 p.m. That's pretty much my cycle now. 3:30 wake up, 8 p.m. bed, pretty much every day, even Saturday, Sunday, as I don't have much of a life. Anyway, last meal is 2 whole eggs and 300 grams of egg whites. Typically I would have like some veg in this one. Far out. But to be honest, I'm not actually that hungry today, which is crazy because generally I'm always Frank Marvin. I'm always ready for a feed, so that's good. So 2 whole eggs, 300 egg whites. Then in this red container, I've got 120 oats, 100 grams of banana, 15 grams of honey, and then some PB2 as well. So that's going to round out the day of eating, which is 3,870 calories, I think, 210 protein, 600 carbohydrates, and 60 grams of fat, which is good. Slowly trending up. Definitely put some body fat back on. But like reality is, you know, that's a fair amount of calories to be eaten, and you'll notice, you know, all of my food is like whole foods, clean foods. You'll very rarely see an off-plan meal on this channel, and you know, reality is I'm supposed to have 1 off-plan meal per week, but I actually really like the food that I eat, and I don't suffer with, you know, shit tons of cravings and things like that, even coming out of the back of like a prep. Reason being is, straight out of prep, like we didn't fart ass around in terms of getting calories up. We went straight back to 3K, I believe, at the start. You know, obviously I had some off-plan food the night of the show, and then since then I've had like sushi out, and like a couple of muffins, but nothing crazy. But, you know, I've definitely overeaten on occasion, like had more rice cakes, had more rice, had more oats, etc. However, you know, I haven't gone out and binged eat or anything like that, because typically like that sort of stuff doesn't excite me anyway. You know, I hate that feeling of feeling like grossly full and sick, and I hate the way that like shitty food makes me feel anyway. But I really do think, like, coming out of the back of the show, well, if you're a first timer, good idea to not beat around the bush and just get some body fat on quick through, you know, a higher escalation in calories straight out of the bag, because you're going to binge anyway, or you're going to overeat anyway. So you're better off to just get food back to a good set point as opposed to trying to restrict yourself too much. And I've always found that is the best approach for me. Like, not going to a point of like, okay, we're gaining way too much body fat too quickly, but getting food back up to a spot where it's like, okay, like I'm eating 3,000 calories, like this is a good amount of food. I can deal with the hunger, I can deal with the cravings or whatever, and I can slowly create body fat, you know, back on, and accept the fact that I'm going to gain a little bit more body fat. But reality is, you do it like this and you're probably going to have a better time than trying to restrict and then end up binging, because instead of overeating your calories or being in a surplus of, you know, 500-600, you're in a surplus 2,000 when you're doing those big binges, or even more than that, right? So that's how we've managed to navigate the post-show. Anyway, again, on a ramble, but last meal of the day, full day of eating done, bit of a day in the life done, and we'll catch you in the next one.